Hello, 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 and welcome to this special Women's Day celebration. Yes, happy Women's Day to the women of South Africa. This is an incredible, incredible day. If I'm correct, it is 66 years. Well, it's the 66th anniversary since the 1956 march of the women of South Africa to the Union buildings in Pretoria. So, how momentous is this that we get to celebrate 66 years since the courageous women of South Africa decided to say enough is enough, to say that their voices were going to be heard. So, welcome and thank you for joining me today. Now, I knew that I could not let this day pass without celebrating the women of the past, the present, that's you, and the future. Those amazing women that are coming, in the years ahead of us. So, will you take this opportunity today to celebrate you? Because that's where it all starts. Yes, we are commemorating those brave souls. Now, many of you know those brave souls, you know of them. Some of you are related to them that stood together in 1956 so bravely, so powerfully. And we get to celebrate and commemorate them. Now, what happened in 1956? Some of you know, some of you don't know. Especially our international community, you may have heard some of this before. But there were 20,000 women who marched to the Union buildings in South Africa. And women from all backgrounds, didn't matter what race they were, what class, culture, ethnic groups, everyone came together. This was a day of a sign of unity, of solidarity, of where nothing else mattered but the cause. And what they were standing together for was, well, these terrible, terrible laws that restricted the movement of people who were defined as Black in the Population Registry Act. So it was a way to curb, restrict, control people who were defined as Black. And yes, a petition was signed and it had approximately 100,000 signatures. Can you believe that? And 20,000 women from all over the country, they got there. Now just think about this, 1956, just compare where we are at today in 2022. We have the convenience of cars, of buses, of trains, of aeroplanes, of helicopters, of private jets, you name it. We have the opportunity to connect virtually with each other. This is 1956. Women came from all over the country. They took whatever means of transport was available at that time to come to Pretoria here in South Africa, to come to the Union buildings, to come together and protest and serve a petition on their feelings towards the past laws. They were petitioning against this heinous laws that was restricting and controlling people in such a way that dehumanized them. So imagine the courage that these women had to have. Imagine, women didn't have much rights then in 1956, right? I mean, the women in South Africa, white women had the first vote in 1933. So if you think about women across the world, they weren't conferred much rights. And it was only in 1983, 5 decades later, that Asian and other women of color had the opportunity to start voting. They called it suffrage at that stage. That was the term they used. So imagine how in 1956, with the limited rights that women had in South Africa, they came together. So this is reason to celebrate today, because we are the products of those women. We come from that lineage of brave, courageous souls. And today, I'm asking you to remember who you are. No matter what's going on in your personal life, no matter what's going on here in South Africa, we get to tap into that courage of all those women all those years ago, 66 years ago. We get to do that today. We get to be brave. We get to stand on their shoulders and take our country forward. Now, what I found was so significant, and I've been thinking about this since yesterday. You see, the 8th of August has been the Lionsgate portal since ancient times. And how significant that the women of South Africa marched on the Union building and protested against the pass laws the day after Lionsgate. Now remember, Lionsgate is all about spiritual expansion. So for me, my take on it is that these women had divine support to do what they did. I mean, the 9th of August is a public holiday in South Africa. It's not just a day commemorating the women and Women's Day. It is a public holiday because it is that significant that the act that was performed all those years ago has actually resulted in the rights that women have today in this country. Yes, there's many other weird things happening in our country. But we have the right to stand up. We have the right to speak up. We have the right to be educated. We have the right to choose. We have the right to work if we want to. We have the right to have businesses. We really have that many rights. But the question is, have we fully accepted those rights? Have we fully acknowledged that we are free citizens? That we are free to embody our feminine power? So like I shared, these courageous women went forward on the day after the Lionsgate portal to go out and stand in their feminine power. Now that's true expansion. So today, knowing that, being aware that yesterday was the Lionsgate portal, the peak time when this high vibrational spiritual frequencies have been coming into this planet and is still here for us to embody, what is it that you're going to choose? Like those women said, enough is enough to control. What are you saying enough to today? What are you choosing to be? Who are you choosing to be going forward today? Because it's not just a public holiday to go shopping, to just let the day go by without any significant declaration for yourself. Now, if you notice, I have a candle burning to my left. Because the reason why I light a candle every day, morning and evening, is to remind myself of the light that I am in this world. For me, women are the light in their homes. They are the light in their countries. They are the light in the world. So I'm lighting this candle today significantly for the light that you are in the world, to remind you that wherever you go, as a woman, you take light. You bring beauty into the place. So if you want to know how we can dissipate the darkness in this country, I'm calling on all South African women. Light a candle every day, in the morning and in the evening, reminding yourself of the light that you are and offering the light to every other woman, every other person, every child, every living being, every sentient being on this planet. Can you do that? You see, we may not have to go and march like those women did in 1956, but what we can do is we can light our hearts and we can send that light out into the world. We may do the physical expression of lighting a beautiful candle, but that is just symbolic of us lighting up our hearts and allowing that light to go out into the country and into the world. So, what are you going to do this Women's Day? How are you going to make it a significant day? You see, I came here to celebrate you today because you are a reflection of me. I am a reflection of you. The things we like about women, we have that within us. The things we don't like about women, we also have that within us. But today, we are to stand together as women. We are to stand as one. We are to be the beacon of light for everyone around us. We are like that lighthouse. When the ship is lost at sea, we guide people into the light. We guide people to safety. So can we, as the women of South Africa, do that for our fellow South Africans? Can we do this for our beautiful country, our beloved South Africa? Let's stand together because South Africa requires us. South Africa is waiting for us women to stand up for her. We have to stand in our true feminine power. We are not wielding weapons of mass destruction. The weapon we have is the gift of light, is the gift of love, is the gift of joy. So today, this Women's Day, choose to be the light wherever you go. Acknowledge the light in every woman that you encounter today, and from this day forward, allow Africa to light up. Let us, South Africans, claim our rightful place on the global platform. Let's honor those women of 1956. And do you know what was even more significant about that time in 1956 when those women stood at the Union building? They stood still for 30 minutes in absolute stillness. They had children in their arms, their own. Some were nannies and they had brought the children that they were taking care of to the Union building. Every woman, every child that was there was still for 30 minutes. Now, can you imagine the power, the impact of that? Imagine if every day we just took 5 minutes as women to be still, just 5 minutes every morning, and directed our intention for a better, brighter South Africa for all South Africans. That's all that's required of us. Light a candle and be still for 5 minutes. These powerful actions, before you know it, we're going to be able to shift what's really been going on in our country. This darkness, this craziness that we do not even understand. So it's time for the female leaders to rise. And when I'm saying female leaders, I'm talking about heart-centered leadership here. I'm talking about the women who actually care about the people of South Africa. And I know that if you're listening to this, you are one of them. And together, we are stronger. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can bring the light back into this country. And it will be more powerful than it's ever been. But it starts with you. It starts with you igniting your light. It starts with you igniting your fire within you. It starts with you embracing your true feminine power. And I ask that you give yourself permission today to step into your feminine power. Step into your light. Be the light. Embrace the light. Share the light. So that's what I wanted to come and share with you today. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating the woman you are, the woman you're becoming, and everything you are to create from this day forward. So happy Women's Day. May this be the beginning of the streaming of light into South Africa and into this world. Thank you and have an amazing, amazing day further. Ciao for now.